Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the brand new premium Tier 9 Greek destroyer Velos. That is a Fletcher-class destroyer which was transferred to the Greek or Hellenic Navy in 1959. Now the Velos in World of Warships has rapid firing 127mm main battery guns and one torpedo launcher with very fast reload. The Velos comes with very good concealment and a smoke generator with a long-lasting American smokescreen. Now, in addition to the smoke generator, the ship's charges include both the engine boost and the defensive AA fire consumable in separate slots. Now, the Velos will be available first as part of a Portal campaign adventure similar to that of the Black campaign that will begin on the 21st of October, and then at the beginning of the new year 2023, Velos will then be available in the armory for doubloons. The Velos will then become part of the Pan-European faction that includes ships from various nations within the European region. Now the Velos, being a Fletcher-class destroyer, will inevitably draw comparisons with its American version in-game, but now I must say there are numerous slight differences which we will go over as we go through the ship stats. Now, as usual with a ship review guide, let's start with the complete captain build I'm using in this gameplay, including both the ship upgrades and the captain skills. Now, I will say you could go for the engine boost mod in slot 2. It's purely a personal choice. I do like having that extra engine room protection. I've gone for main battery mod 3 in slot 6 for the faster reload on the main battery. And I do like running with radiolocation. So I am trying to actively hunt and destroy enemy DDs with this build. And I do feel that the Velos does perform very well in this role. Before going through the ship's main stats, let me quickly put up the armor layout, simply using a port screenshot. You can see the Velos gets a fore-end plating, deck plating, side plating, all of 19mm. Very simple. The plating on the superstructure is 13mm, and the turrets get an all-round protection of 20mm. The standard DD armor, nothing out of the ordinary. This ties in directly to the survivability of 20,250. Now this is identical to the Fletcher, the same amount of hit points. Moving to the main battery on the Velos. Now with this build, the Velos gets a reload speed of 2.1 seconds on these 4 single mounted 127mm guns. Very fast 2.1 second reload. Now you do get one less turret compared to the Fletcher. The reload on the Fletcher is 2.9 seconds. These 127mm guns have a very fast turret rotation time of 6.1 seconds for 180 degrees, a max firing range of 12.1 kilometers with a max dispersion of 99 meters. Now the Velos can fire both high explosive shells with a max alpha damage of 1800. They have a 6% fire chance with this build, including both of the signal flags. These 127mm shells can pen 21mm of armor with a shell speed of 792 meters per second. Velos also gets armor piercing shells. They have a max damage of 2100 and a shell speed of 792 meters per second. These are the identical gun stats and damage values to the Fletcher. So moving to the Velos' torpedoes. Now the Velos only does get one torpedo launcher, one X5 launcher. Now it has a very fast reload time of 60 seconds. Now these are the identical torpedoes that are on the Fletcher. They have a max firing range of 10.5 kilometers with a max damage of 19,033, 66 knots of speed, and a torpedo detectability range of 1.4 kilometers. So very, very fast reload. Now, joining the pan-European faction of destroyers, Velos gets the ability for a very narrow spread and a slightly wider spread of torpedoes. Very similar to the Swedish line of destroyers or pan-European line. I found the reload speed on these torpedoes to be very, very useful indeed. You have a full spread available every 60 seconds. Now, should you try something extreme, you can add the torpedo tubes modification 2 in upgrade slot 6. And with the reload captain skill, you can actually reduce this reload time right down to 45.9 seconds, which is extremely fast. Now, I must say, we will definitely find some people memeing around with torpedo builds on the Velos, but I must say, I'd still prefer having the balance of fast reload on the main battery and still getting very good torpedo reload. But I can definitely see it happen. Velos also gets access to depth charges. They come with a max damage of 5,100. You get 2 charges with 12 bombs per charge. It's a very large number of depth charges, and these charges have a depth charge reload time of 40 seconds. Moving to the AA defense, the Velos gets an AA defense rating of 57. It comes armed with 3 twin-mounted 76.2mm Mark 33 mounts. The main battery, these 4 single-mounted 127mm guns. Main battery guns are dual purpose. They double up as AA. They pump out a continuous average damage of 162. Now, the vast majority of this is medium range, but this does have a range of 4 kilometers. The Velos can also fire 3 shell explosions per flak salvo with a max damage of 1540. These have a max firing range between 3.5 and 5.8 kilometers, a priority sector reinforcement of 35%, and again, the max firing range is 5.8 kilometers. Now, strangely enough, the defensive fire consumable, despite originally being an American chip, the defensive fire continuous average damage boost is only 50%, as opposed to the boost of 100% on the Fletcher. You get a 300% shell explosion damage boost of 300%, and the consumable is active for 40 seconds. Now, you get 1 less flak explosion than the Fletcher. The only bonus being you have the option of both employing engine boost and defensive fire on the Velos, as opposed to the Fletcher that must choose between one or the other. When it comes to maneuverability, the Velos is superior in speed to the Fletcher. The max speed with the Sierra Mike signal flag mounted is 39.9 knots, as opposed to 38.3 knots on the Fletcher. Definitely faster. You get the same engine boost that can increase straight line speed by 8%, a very good turning circle radius of 620 meters, and with this build, a rudder shift time of 3.9 seconds. Now, should you prefer to use the steering gears mod, you can further decrease the rudder shift time down to 3.1 seconds. But I do find the Velos to be very maneuverable, and I prefer using the propulsion mod. But again, this is just purely a personal playstyle. So finally, stats-wise, Velos gets a concealment rating of 96. This equates to a surface detectability range by enemy ships at 5.8 kilometers. You will be detected by enemy submarines and enemy aircraft at 2.7 kilometers when your AA is turned off. So this sums up the stats, the raw basic numbers of the Velos. Now, I do like this ship. I have played the American line of destroyers extensively, and the Fletcher-class always proved to be so reliable. I definitely prefer playing the Velos in an aggressive fashion, targeting enemy destroyers, torping everything that comes in range, but primarily focusing on capture points and countering enemy destroyers, which I find the Velos does very well indeed. Now, there is one major drawback with the game at the moment, and it does seem unfortunate. With the introduction of super ships into the game, a lot of Tier 9 matches will see you encounter Tier 10 and Tier 11 opponents regularly. It is the nature of the beast at the moment, but the Velos is still capable of performing. And I'm well aware there is a large Greek contingent in the game that will be absolutely delighted to welcome the very first Greek ship into World of Warships. I'm quite sure it will prove to be quite popular. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this early review guide of the very first Greek destroyer or Greek ship in the game, the Velos, which means arrow. So let me know in the comments below what you think. If you would like to see some live gameplay of the Velos and many others, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. I stream there on a regular basis during the week. I look forward to seeing you all. I will let this game play out. It turned out to be quite a good battle. Not an extreme amount of damage. A very interesting game where the Velos can perform very well even against higher tier opponents. So until the next time, stay safe out there and keep sailing it like you stole it.
Smoke generator started. Smoke screen set. Engine boost activated.
ends in 5 minutes.
Engine boost deactivated.
I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.